position is we just speak one thing, that let you maintain what you came together to do. If it's investment, if it's the social place, but when it comes to risk, let the people that talk, that understand the risk take good about it. So I want to invite my colleague called Sam, is the head of alternative channels in the Old Mutual, and I will want you to be very keen because I have some gifts to give away from the Old Mutual. So I think it will take only 15 minutes to just go through it. And if you have any question, I'll come and finalize the session. Thank you. I welcome Sam.
Thank you. So this is the time that you need to be very careful because money comes from Old Mutual, right? Yeah, so you might be the winner for this session. So welcome, Sam.
Thank you so much. I don't know who has the slides. You can put them on presentation mode. Excellent. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. How are you doing this morning?
You're doing great.
That's fantastic. So I hope I'm audible enough. My name is Samuel Odhiambo from UAP Old Mutual. I am in charge of what we call the Alternative Distribution Channels Department. And that basically means distribution through non-traditional channels like digital, shamans, affinity groups, etc. Is this better? Is it better?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So, this morning I'm quite delighted to be part of this conversation, be part of this meeting, because we are having a discussion about very important things where economics and finances are concerned. So I must thank Eric for setting this up and for running such a fantastic business that is enabling chairmans around the country to meet their financial obligations. I'm also quite honored that I'll be having this discussion with people I have a lot of respect for. Some of us were taken to school by chairmans, isn't it? Some of us are here because there's a chairman that paid a hospital bill, isn't it? Some of us were able to do one or two things just through chairmans. So we cannot underestimate or overemphasize the role of chairmans in our economy today. And I can tell you this is not just in Kenya. Even in other countries, they just probably call it a different name, but in reality, it's just people coming together and saying, if we come together, the burden is lighter, and we can be able to achieve things a little bit more easier. Great. So what I love about this partnership we have with Malipo is that we are adding value. What Eric is doing in bringing Old Mutual and other players into the space is because we want to make sure that other than having a digital treasurer, which is Malipo, you can also have value-added services, including insurance, investments, etc. And today I'll be taking you through one component of the value-added services that you will be exposed to going forward. I want to start with a story, and if you can move to the first slide, and I want you to help me to tell this story. So I don't know, Mr. MC, if your mic is working.
Yeah, for sure.
If you can be moving around, because I'm not very good at telling stories. I tell them with the help of people. I want to tell you a story about a lady called Queen. She's on the screen. And I want to engage your imaginative juices. So I don't know how imaginative you are this morning. So as we talk through this, I want you to imagine and visualize what we are actually talking about. Are we together?
Yes, we are.
Are you going to go with me on this journey?
Yes, we shall.
Okay, so let's meet Queen. Queen is an average-aged lady, about 35 years old. Yeah, this is a strong African woman. Where are the strong women in Africa? In Kenya, I can see. Thank you. This is a strong African woman, the kind of woman every African man wants. A hard-working lady, mother of two, mother of three. And the thing about Queen is that she works so hard to try and help the husband meet the many obligations that she has, that they have as a family. So if you look at the kind of business that she does, she's actually a hairdresser, But beyond that, she's actually gone ahead and owned her own salon and extended it to be a barber shop. So this is somebody who doesn't depend on others. Putting food on the table and that they're supporting the husband. So the other thing about Queen is that she's very religious. So a devout Christian, probably a Catholic, and during the Sunday services or the weekends, she's able to participate in a few women group events and supports that in that sense. The other thing about Queen, are you still following? Yes. The other thing about Queen is that she's a haki yetu kind of person. You know a haki yetu kind of person? Those people who know their rights and they defend their rights. So you will not go to her shop now because they believe that hard work pays, but they also believe that they can actually and should actually defend their rights. Like many people that are in this room, Queen came from Ushago. So she only came to Nairobi after Form 4, and she had to work her way into college and got married in Nairobi and started living a decent life. So she currently lives in Dondo. Her children are going to a small private school there. And once in a while, because she came from Ushago, she has to send money back there. Okay? So at the end of the month, she looks for a few thousand shillings and sends back to the parents. Now, this is where you come in. I want us to paint the picture of what a typical day for Queen looks like. I don't know where my MC is at.
Here.
Thank you.
Yes.
So, we have talked about her being a hairdresser, and I'll start off this by telling you she wakes up at 5 a.m. What is the first thing that she does? I've just explained to you her kind of life, and I'll be rewarding those people that are going to help me to tell this story. We have a hand up here.
5 a.m. in the morning.
She wakes up at 5. What is the first thing that Queen does?
What is the first one?
Strong African woman.
Okay. From a man.
Let's hear from a man's perspective.
Okay.
The first thing she will do, since she's a Christian, she will pray first.
Fantastic. That is one of the things she will do. We have another one. Let's go. We are telling a story. Don't make it break. Let's keep going.
Okay.
What's the next thing Queen does?
Here we go. Yeah.
I think we need more mics.
Okay.
We have so many hands up.
Say again.
Anatayarisha
Anatayarisha watoto.
Anatayarisha watoto. Very
Next.
good.
Let's go.
She makes breakfast for her family.
Makes breakfast for family. Next.
Breakfast next.
We have so many hands.
She will make sure that as she's preparing the kids for breakfast, she's also getting ready to go to work.
Exactly. She has to prepare.
Tengeneza nywele next.
No, they are broken up. Now they are way out. This is a story I give.
Yes.
Now they are on their way out. And then she has to make sure that everybody is well dressed.
Fantastic.
Watoto wako na chakula kwa baa, kila mtu akona chakula
There was
kwa
a
baa.
hand
Sasa
there.
let's go.
Was it you? Yeah. Somewhere there.
The bus stop or to take their vehicle.
Okay. We are moving on to the house.
Afiki kazini.
Yeah, I think about all this, she has to be planned. She has planned her time.
You must be a teacher. Next.
Those are some of your everything.
Of course, yeah.
Next.
So she has called. She has made sure that she calls other members of the family to find out advice because she moved from home. Therefore, she wants to know whether her family will back. She has not find.
Wow.
So for saying money goes away, she touches the wallet. So what does she do with the wallet?
I'm waiting for the time when Queen gets to work. What time is it?
She gets to work.
She's already at work now. Thank you. So what does she do at work?
Now, as she opens her shop, she gets a call from home. The brother needs school fees.
Now she checks the
Let's go
balance.
to Igwe
What is
there.
the balance?
She checks the balance.
She sent the money the brother wants, but then she notices that the group Chama Malipo up haingii na anapigia nani simu. What happens next?
I think anapigia
Chairman shika simu.
Chama anasema hana pesa.
Secretary apigiwa ma treasurer, apigia treasurer.
Akisema kama na receipt pesa.
Una mtu wasa not.
Wow.
Okay.
That's the last one.
Oh, now she attends to her baby the shop, on another shop.
Okay.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Mr. Every beginning, Kumbe your storyteller. You know you cannot be in a charmer if you don't know how to tell stories. You must be able to tell stories. Sometimes you'll be very bored, and before you know it, Kamau has left with all the money. So, ladies and gentlemen, you have just seen what a typical day for Queen looks like. Okay? Queen is, she's the life of the party. So when she gets to work, she has to call a number of customers. Are you coming in today? She has to check with the employees. Is everything working out fine? And like you said about someone saying she gets a call and the brother needs school fees and another one needs medical fees and all that. This is the typical life of a Kenyan. Can we clap for the Kenyan women in this room? Can we imagine they do all this and they still come here and listen to Malipo? It's a powerful women, isn't it?
The ones who should be awarded first, I think.
So we salute you. But let me tell you something that happens, and that is my next slide. In my next slide, I think I need someone to stay close to that machine. In my next slide, there comes a dark day. That's why it's all black like that. There comes a dark day in the life of a bright person like Queen. And that dark day can be as dark as death. Okay? And so this person who is being called from shots, middle of the day, this person who the children are depending on, this person who the husband is also counting on to support and to bring money to the table. Sometimes, most times, definitely all times, there will be a dark day. Because there's a day that all of us then depart. So you see people left in WhatsApp groups. Who left life, isn't it? So they also live life at some point. So assuming Queen then dies, and we have a dark day like what we have in this life, what happens? What happens? Because the parents in shards will still need money at the end of the month, isn't it? The kids in the house will still need school fees, isn't it? Rent for the salon still needs to be paid, and there's a lot that needs to be done. And it's all revolving around this lady called Queen. So what happens? It becomes a very bleak thing because now you have to start thinking about how do we come to terms with this gruesome reality that this person is no more. And this type of personality, when they're sick with the COVID, they don't tell everybody. So Queen had COVID and she told nobody. She was just a strong African woman trying to manage. But she had underlying left there before anybody could know it. And so now everybody must wonder, how are we going to deal with the situation? Even the charmer is wondering, this was our treasure. So how are we going to deal with our vision, which was to build a bigger salon, and you have Queen manage that salon and all that? How do we deal with those issues? How do we bury her? Where is the money to bury her? So on the brighter side, we say Queen is a devout Catholic, isn't it? So the brighter side, maybe in heaven, she's saying hello to Father Abraham. He's saying, finally I'm here. But let's come back to reality. On earth, we need to bury this person. Okay? And because it's not all bleak, on my next slide, because it's not all bleak, Queen belongs to a charm, isn't it? If you're in a charm, say aye. Aye. If you're in a charm, say aye. Aye. So Queen actually belongs to a charm. And because of that, there's going to be a bit of help. There are some people out there who don't belong to any charm. And so when something like this happens, and she was the pillar, now the pillar is broken, how will the house stand? If it was the father dead, Queen could have rallied his friends and the charm and everybody and they bury well, isn't it? Now imagine it is this pillar that is gone. How do you deal with it? Anyway, fast forward, the charmer meets, isn't it? they start thinking, okay, we need to changa for Queen. How much money do we do it? Do we have? So maybe because she was such a good treasurer, there's some emotion to it. Some people will say, instead of giving the normal 300 we have been giving, for Queen, let's give 1,000. Are we together? Yes. So let's say they all give 1,000. Or what happens? And let's go to the next slide and see. Because they need to marry Queen. If they were 10 in the chama, and now Queen is gone, how many are they? 9. And if they're all removing 1,000, how much is that? 9,000. Okay, so Mr. MC, go back to the thing. We want to find out, we have 9,000 gold. How much do we need to actually buy some? Give them a decent sender. Sanduku ni how much? Let's hear the things that we need. What do we need to do a decent send-off for Queen? And how much is it? Any hands? Kenyans don't like them though.
I think somebody next to me can help me. It's an ambush.
Yeah, my name is Peter Odera. I think you need to get a good casket. Around 50,000.
50,000.
50,000 shillings. Remember, we have 9,000 shillings, right?
It's here Malipo to treasure. Can someone from Malipo start writing these numbers down? 50,000 casket.
Yes.
Next.
You need to transport Queen's body to the village with a standard bus of about 90,000.
Okay, you said your last name is what?
Oh, my name is Omondi.
Omondi, that's 90,000.
When I was done, I did more than that.
When a bus at 90, is that a Mercedes bus?
A bus that can take about, with the current situation, 25 pounds.
Factor in COVID.
Okay, put in Mercedes bus and
Yes.
Mercedes.
Yes. Next.
90,000. Next, what else do we need?
It's honey.
You need 10.
Yes. For how much?
Let's say
60,000. Okay.
Tens factored in 60,000 is the amount.
The last two, then we close.
Yes, please.
Mine will be a bit different. Benefiting send-off is not an investment. So, to my seat, just get a place, Langanga Cemetery, and because it doesn't make any sense to spend 50,000 or 70,000 or 100,000 buying a person of me. You get the story of Queen. She has been struggling not to give her that money when she was alive.
Thank you very much. He must be an accountant. If you are in his chairman, beware. Next, last one.
Yes.
Yes. Fantastic. How much did you say for
Watu wa Western wamalizie bwana. Moja tu. Unajua ingwe ina represent hapa.
Yes.
Before you go and bury, you must have a body coming to around 3,000.
Na kukula pia.
Sasa hapo tunaweza kumalizia hapo.
How much for food, Mr. Igwe?
Hiyo budget ni ngapi?
Ugali.
Ng'ombe mbili hapo ni 30,000.
30,000.
Alafu na unga gunia kama 3.
Kuna kitu hapa anamalizia hapo.
Just remember that we'll also have, we'll need chairs for those people to sit.
Yes.
Taki kusimama akikula.
Thank you very much.
Hiyo lazima. Hiyo bali tunafika ngapi?
Ask our treasurer, Malipo, how much is that we need?
So we have 233,000.
233,000.
And it's because people factored in COVID regulations. Otherwise,
It should have been worse.
a million people will nominate the rest.
Thank you very much. And how much do we have on the screen?
9,000.
So is it doable? Unless now you go and sell the plot you're buying as a chairman, you can't do this, isn't it? So it becomes very difficult. And I want to say this, that the reality is that these things happen in our channels, isn't it? We are mekufa ndiye alikuwa tegemeo, isn't it? And then you're wondering, so you have 200 and something thousand budget, but you only have 9K. It just doesn't add up. But I want to tell you, on the upside, you're actually better than someone who's not in a chama, isn't it? Kuna ule hiyo 9,000 he doesn't have it, or she doesn't have it because she doesn't belong to a chama. So this is the problem we find ourselves as chamas, that we actually want to help, we are willing to help, but that help is not sufficient because the burden is much bigger. So on my next slide, this is why Old Mutual is partnering with Malipo. Because Eric and Tim sat down and said, no, we have chamas, they are actually contributing, but there is a problem, there is a shortfall. Okay? Is there a better way of managing death in chamas? Is there a better way of managing the expenses that come with death within chama? Do we have to sell the land that we sell 10 years in order to buy so that we can actually support it? The answer is no. There is a better way. So in life we say, and Apojani would have told you, that those things, one of the key things you need to do is that identify what you don't have capacity for and outsource it. So if you don't have skills to do something, you actually outsource it and pay someone else to do it, isn't it? That's why you have a plumber that comes to your house, isn't it? That's why you have somebody, an electrician that comes to your house to fix things when you can't do it. So the problem with the way we have been handling death situations in the chama is that we are trying to handle it ourselves instead of outsourcing it to an expert. The reality is that anything you outsource to an expert comes at a cheaper price. Ukiamua unataka kujenga nyumba ushago and you want to build it yourself, don't you think it will cost you more than getting an engineer to do it, isn't it? Because utaenda huko kwa materials utagongwa, isn't it? You didn't even know the price of cement is, one bag is 650, you bought it at 1,200 because you don't know. You don't know where to start, head or tail. So it always becomes expensive when you try to do something which you are not endowed to do, which you are not skilled to do. It becomes heavy in terms of cost, or it will take you long. And that is the challenge we want to solve. In Old Mutual, we have been doing this business for 175 years. Look at the person next to you and tell them 175. We are no longer guessing. We now know how to do this thing, isn't it? 175 years we've been in this business, where we are telling people, focus on the things you know how to do best, right? And us will focus on what we can actually help you with. So we want to give you peace of mind. As you're saving, as you're building wealth, there is a downside. There is a potential that somebody can die. How will you deal with that situation? At Old Mutual, we have solutions that will support you to give a decent send-off in the event that actually a family member or a member of the chama passes on. And we are not a small company, as you can see. We have over 1.2 million customers, okay? These are people who are happy with us. That's why they are our customers, okay? They are happy with our solutions, and we want you to join that bandwagon of the happy customers that we are serving. As you can see, we are a big group. We are in over 16 countries. So Kenya, Tanzania, East Africa, South Africa, a part of West Africa. We are all over in about 16 countries in Africa. In Kenya here, we also have a number of businesses as Dominic had alluded to. We have an investment company called Mutual Investment. We have a microfinance called Faulu. You all know Faulu probably. And of course, we have a short-term business that covers you for medical insurance, covers your car, etc. Today, we are putting focus on the life business, where we are saying we can give you a solution that in the event a member dies, some money can actually come through. So on my next slide, I want to unpack for you how exactly this last expense cover works. And I want to take you back to the story of Queen, where we have 9,000 shillings And we are finding that this 9,000 is actually falling short of the budget that we have. If you give us that money, that 1,000 per member in the chama, can I shock you that that 1,000 can give you back a benefit of up to 500,000? That 1,000 per year. Isn't that amazing? We can convert that 1,000 you're giving once into 500,000 shillings. I'll tell you how. Because we are pulling together into a pool premiums from so many different people, like millions of customers. I'm sure you have over 1.2 million customers. So when we pull 1,000 from each, we are now able to say if Queen passes away, we can give 500,000. We can give 50,000. Okay? But you as a chairman, how many are you? You're just 10. So you're playing with smaller numbers, isn't it? So you don't enjoy the benefit of economies of scale. That is why we are saying, give us this thing. We have a larger pool. And the benefit of that pool is that we can actually pay out bigger sums of money in the event of it. So I'll tell you how this works. For as little as 1,500 shillings per year, right? For as little as 1,500 shillings per year, we can cover you, your spouse, 4 children, okay? 2 parents and 2 parents-in-law, each for 50,000 shillings. How much was that? 10, isn't it? You, your spouse, 4 kids, that's 6, 2 parents, 8, and 2 parents-in-law, 10. So for 1,500 shillings, all these people are covered. If any of them passes on, we pay 50 Gs. And we pay that money within 48 hours of notification. Isn't that amazing? So can you begin to see how your 1,000 within the insurance setup, it gives you much more value, isn't it? How many of you can see that point? Raise your hand. If you can see it, say aye. Aye. So it does make sense. So that is why we are asking you, with the help of Eric, move that money from where it is towards the insurance program, and you begin to unlock these benefits. I know people already have a couple of questions, so I'll try and answer them with the following statements. If you're from Western, kama wewe ni wa Western, sema hai. Watu wa Western najua mnanga watoto wanne. It is not for children. So you're already giving me a look like Sam, now this couple of yours. Bwana niko na watoto 12. Na mimi ndio number 3. Number 1 I'm on 16. So if you have 16 children, what happens? Because we're mutual discovery 4 children. No. You can cover more than 4 children. But for every extra child, there's a small amount of money that you will need to add. So for the 50K one, you will only need to add 100 shillings, 100 bob, only for every extra child. But the first 4 children, the 2 parents and 2 parents-in-law, they are all covered within the 1,500. So I'll tell you how this works. You sign up today. If you die tomorrow morning, we pay. Hello? Does it sound like magic? This is not DESI. It is not a scheme. This is insurance. We have been doing this for 175 years. If you take the cover today and you die tomorrow, we do what? We pay.
God forbid, nobody's dying.
No, God forbid. But I'm just trying to say that you enjoy immediate value. Alright? You don't have to wait. So the way it works is that we cover you from the minute that you pay your premium. Okay? There is only one small disclaimer that if the death is out of a sickness, alright, then there is actually a waiting period of 3 months. Why? Because we are Kenyans. You know, Mkenya atasikiza saa na Malipo, aende nyumbani, you go back to Busia, you wait for 3 months. You go to hospital, you are told you have cancer. Sasa ile kitu ya Malipo ile, I want to take it now because your doctor has told you you have 1 week to live, isn't it? So because of that, and because we know Kenyans, we're very smart people, people will take advantage of that. So we say, death out of illness, there is a 3 months waiting period. Okay? So if you die, if somebody passes on out of an illness, and it is after 3 months from the date they signed up, then that is fair. But all accidental death, Ugongo, if you're in an accident of some form while you're driving back from here, we would actually pay. There's no waiting period of that. Okay? So all accidental deaths are payable. Then we cover people of majority age. You must be 18 years and above. And I hope you don't have Chama members who are younger than 18 years. I would imagine majority of them are above 18 years. But this is a beautiful thing I want to check. There is no maximum exit age. Okisha India, we are with you for life.